Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to Eagles Talk post-game show. Our Philadelphia Eagles went down again to the New York Giants. 6 weeks, a collapse. What a collapse. The biggest collapse I've seen in recent Eagles football history, bigger than any other collapse I've seen in my lifetime. This is incredible, and I call it such a big collapse because unlike those other collapses that we witnessed, this team was actually good. This team is actually talented. We can question how talented those other teams were that came out hot and then faded at the end. But this team was good. And it's still good. I mean, you look at the players on offense on this team and you still can't understand what the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about we got players on this offensive side of the ball that's playing in the Pro Bowl. We're not talking about no scrubs here. We talking about some good players on this offensive side of the ball, and this team has collapsed in the last 6 weeks, 1-5 to finish the season, and all the eyes are on the coaching staff because this guy has, Sirianni and the coaches have only not stopped the bleeding. We bled out. We done bled the hell out on the last game of the season. It was bad last week when we allowed the Arizona Cardinals to score, to not punt. We didn't force them to punt all week last week. The Arizona Cardinals, not the 49ers, not Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, not Lamar and the Ravens. I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals did not punt one time. And then this week we come back and get blown out by the New York Giants. 5-11. New York Giants. We done bled out. So Sirianni, he hasn't stopped the bleeding. We done bled the hell out. What's going on, Pat?
Listen, man, we kind of expected a collapse in this game. When you don't win last week's game and put yourself in a position to win this division and be the number 2 seed, this game is pretty much just for going to the playoffs healthy. I hope AJ Brown is good to go. They said his ACL was intact, so it was no major knee injury. So we survived that. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's kind of hard to sit on this show right now and have a smile on my face and say, you know what, we got a game next week in the playoffs. It's kind of hard just thinking about that. And I know you were saying something about, do we really want to play the Buccaneers? Do you think this team could beat the Buccaneers? I had a glimmer of hope just a moment ago when I was watching the end of this game. I saw some crossing patterns. I saw some completions to the tight end over the middle. And I'm thinking, looking in the office, I say, I haven't seen that since like week 1. I haven't seen like that action in a very long time. So could it be that they do have some other set of plays for the playoff? I doubt it. This is the team that we've seen for these 17, 18 weeks is going to be a team we're going to see in the playoffs, right? It's just determination. It's the heart, the aggression. What you come to work with. Come to work and do your doggone job. We blame it on the coaches every single game. We were blaming it on the terrible play calling. We blame it on the terrible defensive calls. I saw a few plays, and you called it out, Dark Knight. Wrap up, right? Wrap up. It's the players have to make these simple plays. Very simple. Very, 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 very disappointing, but very simple.
Yeah, we saw more fundamentals not being performed today. Players not wrapping up. Just, they just want to hit you, bump you with their shoulder. Bump you with your shoulder. That's all they want. To bump you with their shoulder. That's all they were doing.
It's not
no wrapping up. They think that if they bump you with your shoulder, that you being a professional football player are just going to lay down. Mm-hmm. That's not how that works. And we've seen it not work today. But you're right. You saw some crossing patterns. You saw a little bit more creativity when Mariota was in the game, right?
Yeah.
Which does give me just a glimpse, just just a hope that that they may be holding some things back right now. It seems asinine that they would do that when they could have secured some wins and changed the playoff position. But hey, who are we? Maybe they don't want to show what they have in store for the teams in the playoffs. Knowing their limited repertoire, they probably couldn't afford to show what they had before the playoffs came because they would have all been exposed before the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the only glimmer of hope we have, is that they do have more creative plays laying in the wings. But if we're just going to go by what we've experienced the last 6 weeks, it looks dire for this team. This coach is in imagination, creativity, Sirianni's ability to solve the problems on this team as the CEO of the coaching staff seems to be very weak right now, and it's only because of that and I know some people probably, you're overreacting. It has had a successful 3-year run. But if I was considering changing both offense and defensive coordinators, because that's definitely in the play. Desai is probably not coming back, so it's definitely going to be a change in defensive coordinator. Brian Johnson, probably there's probably serious consideration surrounding his job too. And if you're going to consider changing both offensive and defensive coordinators again, I think that Sirianni's job has to be under consideration too. I just think so. And some of what I've seen on the field, until I see otherwise, it's showing me that he might have lost the locker room. I'm speculating, but I'm just going by the amount of effort that's being shown on the field these past 6 weeks.
Yeah,
it just seems like it has progressively gotten worse.
Yeah, you know what? The very simple thing is to say the locker room is lost, but the players' attitude. This is still the NFL. This is still a game. This is still a game you got to come out there and play and do this and do the same thing over and over and over and over again, right? If you don't come out there and just do the simple things, like you said, Dark Knight, making a tackle, be aggressive. If you bring no aggression to this game, the hell you out there playing? You used to say we played football to let loose some of our aggression because we were overly aggressive. If we had this aggression all our life, we'd be locked up. Play the game with the doggone aggression. All right.
Yeah. Play the game with the game. Yeah, for real. Get locked up. We want y'all to get locked up, man. We need to see that type of violent behavior, man. Like Rio says, man, I advocate violence. We advocate violence when it comes to football, yo. And we need to see a lot more of that. The personality of this team, I don't even recognize. I really don't. I don't recognize the personality of this team. And it doesn't, and that's why I said there may be a disconnect between the coach and the locker room, because at some point in the near past, in the recent past, this team resembled the personality of the coach. I don't see that anymore. The coach used to be high energy, and all that. I'm not seeing the team embody that high energy anymore.
Correct.
And I'm not seeing the defense being ferocious or violent anymore. And that these are the symptoms or the signs that I'm reading that maybe there's a disconnect between this coaching staff and the players here. And not to mention when I add in the AJ Brown, if I don't have nothing nice, my grandma said, if you don't have nice, say, don't say nothing. Or reading his body language coming out of huddles last week where he's just shaking his head like, I don't believe we about to run this. This shit ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? I can't get past things like that and then look at the effort today and not marry the two together, that maybe there's a disconnect between what the coach is preaching. And I like Nick. I think Nick is a great motivator and the such, but I think that you lose the faith and the confidence of the team when you can't solve the problems of the team. strategically. X and O's, when it comes down to X and O's, when you don't have an answer and you can't solve it, those guys know a lot more football than I know. Maybe not more than you know, but they know a lot more than I know.
Hey,
and
that's their job. They can know more than me.
Right. So I'm saying, like, I play basketball, and I played enough that if a coach came in and I saw the way he was calling plays, I'd be like, yo, this cat don't know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I would say that. Now, and I don't expect those guys to be any different. They know, like, yo, he don't really know what he's doing. I played football all my life, and these plays are not going to work, and he hasn't done anything better. He hasn't upgraded his scheming, his play calling, or anything. After that, you start to doubt whether this guy can really lead us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you just said at the end of that whole thing, you said he didn't change anything up. Like in the first quarter of this game, you were running the ball successfully with Gainwell. And the minute you have a big run, you go right back to the pass. 3 passes, 3 incompletions, and a punt. Like this can't be right. This can't be a formula to be successful in the NFL. If something is successful as a running play, I go away from it. No, let your hogs up front eat and stop with this. I know we do a lot of zone running and stuff like that, but we really got to be more aggressive when it comes to this playoff game. We're going against a very good linebacker, some very good defensive front. Vita Vey, he's a good run stopper, one of the best run stoppers in the league. But if you double team him, you can run against Tampa. You can run against Tampa. You don't let them sit back there and pick you off because you're going to try to run these deep routes. Run the freaking ball. Come on now. We had over 100 yards rushing today. You know that, Dark Knight?
That's impressive. I mean, that is – can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. That is that's encouraging.
Because
we didn't, we need to – our running game needs to look or show any type of pulse if we are going to be successful in the playoffs. So the glimmer of hope that I have for us going into the playoffs is number one, is not too much from this. I mean, not too much more than what I'm about to say, but it is the fact that we're in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That's the glimmer of hope I have, is that we're in the playoffs, because we know that one thing for certain, two things for sure here, you don't have any shot at winning the Super Bowl if you're not in the playoffs. Right? So you have no shot. Like the Giants have no shot of winning the Super Bowl this year. Commanders have no shot at winning the Super Bowl this year.
That's hilarious.
None. I mean, none, because they're not in the playoffs.
Yes.
They're not.
Yes.
You can't win it. Even, and I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying, like, because their last Super Bowl is what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Like, you only have a chance to make it when you're in the playoffs. They won as a wild card the last time they won. And why? Because they had a chance to do so because they were in the playoffs.
Correct.
So I hold on to that glimmer of hope. We do have an opportunity because we're in the playoffs, but we have to do a whole lot more to actually get to the Super Bowl. I understand that. We do. We have to do a whole lot more. We have to play a whole lot better if we actually want to play in the Super Bowl. But you don't have any chance if you're not there.
Yeah. In order to get a chance to go to the Super Bowl, you gotta be in a tournament. If you're not in a tournament,
right.
then all these wins, we beat y'all by this, we beat you. Oh, okay, that's cool. What was your record? 6-11. Oh, so you don't get that. You don't get that invite. All right, cool. My thing is, go back to the drawing board. Practice. Have the players rushed up tomorrow. Film study tomorrow. Practice Tuesday. Practice Wednesday. Practice Thursday. Practice Friday. Saturday, get your game prep going on. Sunday, get ready for the game. I think it's gonna be a Monday night game, if I'm not mistaken. And come on, let's build up that aggression. Let's build up that Eagles that we haven't seen all year. We haven't seen a team play aggressively all year, Dark Knight. We haven't seen them be the aggressive on every single thing, making tackles. Our linebackers play like snot. That's not the word I you want to use. They play like snot bubbles. All right, listen. You really got to play this game with aggression, because if you don't, the team opposite you will knock you in your nose and knock you out. Period.
Somebody said we fallen and we can't get up. All right, let me throw this up here, man, before we go, because I didn't get a chance to do a pregame, and he has bragging rights, so I have to get this up here because he has bragging rights now, so we can no longer make fun of him. But this is my neighbor who is a Giants fan whose team lost to us a few weeks ago, so he had to wear an Eagles jersey this game, watching this game. Now, of course, he's back in the bird dog seat, and he has bragging rights, but I did want to get this up here to show the nation that we have a Giants fan here that was forced to wear Eagles jersey today. But, of course, he's taking that Eagles jersey off and probably pissed on it because we look that bad today. So that's why the neighbor Dwight. Let me go to some comments out here. I want to see how you guys are feeling about
they
this
turn it up
loss
in
here
the room.
tonight.
I see it right there. They turn
I know.
it up.
All right, first person was Sean, and he says, ugly as hell.
Avatar.
James says, Nick, Sirianni will be back in time for both Bob Jones and Matt Patricia to go. Gots to go. Yeah. No comment tonight. Just going to take a shot. Robin said, look, Tony said this will be a quick show. Nick says, embarrassing, disappointing, disgusting, all of that. James Smith, Bob Jones, offensive coordinator, coach, and friend of Jalen Hurts got to go. Oh, Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Look, people so mad, they like, whatever his name is. What the hell ever his name is. Robert said, if we get a new DC, please teach his team how to tackle. Put the pipe down. Who said that? Put the pipe down. You're going to make that happen. Hold up. No heart. That's right. Maine says should have played the backups. You mean they weren't? They weren't playing the backups?
No, they played the first.
Giants, though Tex and Green game over. Yo, Breeze says, y'all ain't been the same since my Niners smack y'all around. You ain't lying. You ain't lying, man. I said on the John, since the Lions came, the 49ers came in and stole our soul.
Yeah,
they took our soul and they left with it. And we haven't seen any signs of our soul since they came in here. And that's some real, I'm real disappointed with my squad. That's some real bitch shit. I haven't seen them display any type of heart since that 49ers game, yo. And that's demoralizing. I ain't gonna lie. Dion said, I'm about to get locked up. Find me outside NovaCare this week. I don't know, man. Also, the biggest thing about this team is we can't tackle. That's what I'm talking about. Like, no heart, no toughness. Like, our soul is gone, man.
They have no sense of how the game should be played, be it with the aggression and making physical tackles. Like, it was a play. It was in the third quarter where Tyrod, what's his quarterback name? Tyrod Taylor, whatever it is, threw the ball to Darren Water on a slant, and Byard was covering. But your inside linebacker, Nick Zamaro, could blew him up. He looked at him and put his arm at him. Like, no. See, if this is, I hate to bring these teams up. If it's the Ravens, even the 49ers, in those situations, that linebacker is blowing that guy up to force him to drop that pass. Even a little hit on him, because he didn't catch the ball clearly. Even a little hit, he would drop the ball. Those little things that I see during the game would tell me that this is not the right personnel for this team at all. At all.
No, we got a lot of things that we have to clean up, man. The biggest question is, can we clean them up? And to this point, I don't have a lot of confidence that this team can make that happen. Can inject the change that's needed to get this team back on track. I have not seen anything to make me feel confident that they know what they're doing, coaching staff that is, and they have a plan that may be successful in the playoffs. They've shown me nothing in the last 6 weeks that have me feel good about that. Whether they can do it, I don't know. Like I said, if they were uh, holding back and they are planning to unveil it in the playoffs, I gotta wait till I see it because I haven't seen anything in the past 6 weeks that's going to get me feeling good about our upcoming matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Tampa too. So it's
Oh,
no excuse for this team not to get off to a good start against Tampa Bay. If they listen, if they lose to Tampa Bay, I'm not putting that in the atmosphere, but if they lose, it has to be a massive change. You gotta go back to that Joe Banner philosophy. Player gets over 30, he got to go.
yeah, that's
I'm
one. That's
sorry.
one.
Because
One
Darius Slay, I'm gonna be
analytic.
honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say this, and I don't care who hears it. Darius Slay quit on his team. You know why he quit on his team? Because he went to go get the elective surgery when he could have waited to the off season and got. Now, do we know how serious it was? No, we don't know how serious it is. But if they didn't put you on IR, then apparently it wasn't that serious. Some
Man,
players are playing
because
with more.
Darius Slay can understand that this coaching staff don't know what the hell they doing. And he like, yo, I'm already like,
He said, I'm
they don't
out.
know what the hell. Look, I
He said,
mean,
I'm
look,
out.
yeah, like for real. Like I'm not in
Oh,
agreement
man.
with it. But look, first he had the Desai. Desai obviously ain't know what the hell he was doing, right? And Darius could recognize that. All right, this guy don't know what he's doing. They were horrible under Desai. And then they go to the coach that he definitely don't think can coach defense. The guy that he was having problems with in Detroit. They moved to him. He was like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go get this surgery. Y'all figure that shit out because y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing here. I'm gonna go get some surgery right now. Y'all figure that shit out." And AJ might have been right along with him. Like, you know what I mean? He put on an admirable performance this week, coming out and defending his coaches and hyping them up. But I can't get past the eye test, and that is his body language after hearing those calls. His statement saying, if I don't have nothing, my grandma said, if I don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. All those things are telling signs that he too are in those rooms and have figured out that I don't think these guys know what the hell they doing.
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell they doing. And you know what I mean? And that's the disheartening part. That's why if you're going to consider changing the offensive defensive coordinator, you got to put Sirianni in that conversation too. You just got to.
Dark Knight, I don't know about if I'm getting rid of a coach that since he got here, we've been to the playoffs every single year. He's not as arrogant as say a Chip Kelly was. You know, he's more of a yes, you said a yes player, a yes person. But it also we have to put the right people around. We got to put grown-ups in the room. You got to put adults in those situations. You can't have somebody that just, was a quarterback's coach become the offensive coordinator when he has no experience as offensive coordinator. You can't have somebody who's been a failed defensive coordinator one time, who's been a failed staffs for most of his career, become the defensive coordinator and think things is going to change. You are who we thought you are. That's the basic philosophy. We are who you thought you are. Go get these successful people. Successful people lead successful programs. I mean,
this is good. Good one right here. I'm in agreement, and I call for Doug Peterson's head too. But I would take Doug back right now. At least you know why? Because Doug would be able to solve what's wrong with this offense right now. See, and this is why I don't have any confidence in Nick Sirianni. Because he's not able to solve his own offense. Like, this is not like, we're not asking him to go in here and tweak the offensive coordinator's offense because the offensive coordinator is running his offense. I'm looking at Nick like, to me, it's a telling sign when you see your offense not being run properly, not being effective properly, being implemented by offensive coordinator, and you don't say, look, give me the damn sheet. I know how to run my offense. You know what I mean? Like, that's something I would do.
Yeah.
If it was my offense and you were running it, Pat, and it wasn't successful, I'd be like, Pat, give me that damn sheet. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Let me show you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he doesn't do that. So to me, it makes me believe that he didn't take himself out of play calling duties. Maybe he was told he couldn't call plays. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to really see him take the play calling duties back because he sucked at it the first time. So I'm not saying that I really want to see him do that, but it's just surprising to me that that's not his attitude. You know what I'm saying? That's not his attitude. I don't want to see him call plays because I think this offense looked a lot worse when he was doing it. As a matter of fact, it looks about like it did this year, like when he was calling it. So, I just think that everybody needs to go. And the only thing I'm saying, and I know Nick has had a extraordinary first 3 years, reaching the Super Bowl in his second year and being a half away from being a Super Bowl championship coach. I get it. But my whole point for considering moving him is that I think that there's a window of opportunity for every team. Mm-hmm. And we have a very talented offensive side of football, and we have some nice young talented players on the defensive side. We still need more defensive talent, of course, but we have a core group that is talented and young. What I'm saying is we can't waste time and waste this window of opportunity of these players. So I'm of the school of, look, if there's going to be a change, let's not pussyfoot around it. Let's make the change now, get this ship righted, and let's take advantage of the window of opportunity that we do have with this team. Let's bring in, although I know this is slim, let's bring in a Jim Harbaugh. Let's bring in a leader of men. Let's bring in somebody, and I know you don't like that because you're Michigan, but I'm saying let's bring in a real coach that has NFL experience and can come and make a difference, man.
You know what? I'm not opposed to that. If we get destroyed, I'm not opposed to it. Because as Harbaugh, he had success for the NFL. He took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, and had one of the better teams in the league. He was able to take that team to a different stratosphere. So I'm not opposed to that if we don't look like anything pertaining to the Philadelphia Eagles in this playoff game. I know we shouldn't be on here long discussing this because we basically, beating ourselves in the head over this nonsense that we have seen in the last 5-6 weeks. But I'm looking for some things to change. I'm looking for some players to step up and be some big time players and extra names in the history. It's all falls on the quarterback, all falls on the head coach. So get this thing together, get this ship righted. So we want to keep talking about the changes at head coach and offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. I mean, defensive coordinator change is going to happen regardless. You know that. But just get the ship righted. That's all we needed. Get the ship righted. Hit us in the right direction.
All right, Nick. I know, Nick, if you're watching, I still love you, man. I just want you to do better, man. I just want you to do better. I would love for you to stay here, but I'm married to the eagle on the jersey and not the names. So I'm sorry. So I just want to see success for this team, man, at all costs. But we ain't gonna be here on a lot. We're gonna get out of here. You guys go and enjoy the rest of your night if you can possibly do that, because this is 6 weeks that we've taken it on the chin, and we are in the playoffs, and we have a playoff game to play in just over 7 days, just about 7 days. So everybody go and reflect on what you saw today, and whatever you do, put some good stuff in there. Put some good thoughts in the air, man. Put some good thoughts in the air, and hope that this team can come back next week and play like the team that we know they're capable of being. I'm your man, Dark Knight, for my man, Pat, and Nichelle in her absence. We'll see you guys on Thursday as we get prepared for the playoffs like our Philadelphia Eagles. We'll talk to you guys later. We're out. Peace. 5, 4,